30. I got past the wave the first try. That's pretty cool. It's gonna be a struggle. I mean, I told myself the first like half hour of this recording was just gonna be getting past the wave part. I got past it, but it's gonna be a long session. It's gonna be a very, very long session. Ooh, all right, 37. It's so hard. It's so hard. Like this part right here, you have to click twice, but I clicked too early. You have to click one click like as you're going through the blue portal, but very, very lightly. And then that second click has to be after you kind of dive down right before that yellow portal. And then the yellow portal, you can't click too early because there's like a little bit of a slope. You kind of see it in the corner where my mouse is. There's like a little bit of like a slope that juts out of the edge. So you have to click it late and then reef the button as the blue ship. It's really, really hard to align yourself perfectly every time. So it's honestly kind of like knowing the pattern and also just luck based to getting through it. It's so hard. Good attempt. Really good attempt. I just need more attempts at the ship. That's all. The ship's the hardest part of the level, so. The ship is by far the hardest part of the level, so. The wave's hard, but the wave has some pattern to it. The ship is just really, really hard. I mean, the ship also has a pattern to it also, but that ship part is, for me, hands down the hardest part of the level by far. I mean, it's just really hard because there's a lot of objects. A lot of the ground, it's really hard to see what can kill you, what can't kill you. And it's all about like maneuvering up and then down and up and then down, and there's a little bit of like a slope that juts out like in the last portal or two, and it's really hard. It's just a really hard part in general. So I just need attempts at the ship. I just have to get up to the ship and I just need repetition for the ship. And if I can get repetitions at the ship, then I should be pretty good. I should be able to get more consistent at it. Ooh, 49. Nice. Holy shit. Dope. Oh, 64. No, I died to the jump. I died to the jump. Man, 64. I've only been playing for like 10 minutes. That's crazy. Damn. Good progress so far. That was just horrible. Holy shit! No fucking way! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shoot! What? What? Oh my god, I fluked from 64! Alright, had a moment to catch my breath. Aftermath, wow. I have a lot of thoughts about this level, so this might be a bit long-winded, but first, let's just look at the attempts. So I have 2,650 over here, 2,650, and keep in mind, I had about 2,000 attempts, just like, I mean, obviously it counts for the attempt count, but I had, before actually starting this level in normal mode, I had about 2,000 attempts on it before, which is really crazy. And then it took me here 2,000 plus 20, 79. So a total of 4,729 attempts for Aftermath, and I really spent a long time in this copyable learning the level. That's how I got a lot of these ending parts down really well, is because I did the reverse practice method where you start practicing the end of the level and then make your way towards the beginning. And because the end is much easier, I won't say much easier, the end is easier than the beginning. The beginning, like 50%, is like really, really hard. I mean, this is harder than anything in Bloodbath. And then the last 50%, like up at the Q part, there's a couple hard parts, a couple hard clicks, but as a level itself, or as the second half itself, it's not as hard. And that's been a kind of a theme throughout this level. It's just like there's a lot of parts in here that are much harder than Bloodbath, and there's a couple parts that aren't as hard as Bloodbath. And if I think this is easier than Bloodbath, just a little bit, just by a little bit, just because it's very short. It's only a minute long, and if it was like a minute 30 of this difficulty, then I would think it would be harder than Bloodbath. But Bloodbath, you have parts like Mishkan, you have Crack's part, you have Etzer's part. Like those are the 3 hardest parts of the level in Bloodbath. But like the wave part in here, the ship part at 40, some of like the clicks, some of the other timings are really hard. So kind of go either way, but I do think Bloodbath is slightly harder than this level. But on my thoughts, I actually did kind of enjoy this level, surprisingly, and I did like learning it. If it took me longer than 2 days, maybe my opinion would change, but I seriously didn't mind dying to that wave part in the beginning over and over again. I knew that once I got past the wave, I would have a fighting chance, and I would also have a decent attempt. And then once I got past that UFO at like 50, I also knew that I would have a really good attempt, and I knew that I could possibly fluke it just because I practiced the end parts of a lot. There are some gameplay moments that are just not good. The triple spam click in the boss section is just god awful. That's fucking horrible. It's some of the worst gameplay I've ever played in my life. That triple spam click sucks. Some of the UFO clicks are really weird. Some of the UFO clicks are awkward and bad. The blue jump orb where you have to click super lightly at 66% is also god awful. And then I did not, even though I didn't die to it, that dual ship transition at 82% is just really bad. I go under the block. I think it's easier because then you can just hold the button down and kind of like bump your head on the top and then straighten yourself out. I think it's easier like doing that. Some people might go on the top of it. Who knows? But anyway, that transition is awful. And the beginning wave is just a headache. The beginning clicks are so weird, going between the cogwheels and also having to hold a tiny bit through the mini portal. And then after doing that, you take one more sweeping stroke to make it through the blue portal, and then holding down just a tiny bit once entering the blue portal and spamming through the gaps. It's just weird. I know that was a mouthful. It's just weird. I do still think the ship part at 33% is the hardest part of the level. It is very difficult to maneuver through the corridor just because there's so many things that jut out, and the clicks have to be so precise. But it got me so much better at like going through ship corridors, just ship in general. Got me so much better at kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but just like straightening yourself out, but also like not straightening yourself out at the same time. Kind of just precise clicks. Got me much better at that. And what else was I going to say? I do think this is my second hardest level I've ever done. I would place this higher than Betrayal of Fate just because BOF is mostly timings and memory with a couple hard skill-based parts. But Aftermath is just 1 minute and 3 seconds of just pure skill-based. Skill, pace, skill part after skill part with a bunch of timings scattered out. I do think Aftermath is harder, even though it didn't take me as long. I think I'm just getting much better at the game. And this is my 19th Extreme Demon, so I have something, hopefully I'm going to have something fun planned for my 20th. I do want it to be the hardest level I've ever done. I would love to do an easy extreme for my 20th, but I would love it for it to be the hardest level I've ever done. So I will probably lean more towards that, just because 20th Extreme Demon is a milestone. But yeah, the Apocalyptic Trilogy is done. Cataclysm, Bloodbath, and Aftermath all complete. So freaking stoked I beat this so quick. And yeah, that's all my thoughts. Overall, good, enjoyed it for the most part. Didn't take me as long as I wanted to, didn't take me as long as I thought, which is great. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.